our omni-channel evolution in 3 acts. I really want to go back to the beginning, talk about our D2C only period, because again, that was the period where we built this foundation of trust, which is what has enabled us to scale and to move outward into these additional channels. So building our foundation, we launched in direct-to-consumer, subscription only, and really focused on creating something that a small number of people loved versus something that a much larger population liked. And we did this by finding customers who wanted to buy our products, listening to them, and catering to their needs. And then we also did this by consistently building on this traceability proposition and delivering more reasons for them to believe. And the ultimate outcome of this was unparalleled brand trust. Now, it's important to note, I didn't know this is what we were doing at the time. It's only in retrospect, right, that I can kind of see these strategy pieces coming together. What we were really doing during this 5 years that we were D2C only is just intensely focused on really delivering on the founder's vision. Like, I think the founder, Kat, who's not here, had a very clear vision for what she wanted to create and how it would be different and how she knew it would be compelling for customers like her, of which luckily there are tens of millions. So we had a strong point of view on staying in essentials. So staying in, to put it, probably the easiest way to summarize the way we think about essentials is like your body needs to ingest these things for you to survive. So we started with a multivitamin. We went into a prenatal. We felt like this was important to building trust. We kind of stayed away from the less sexy, the more sexy, more trendy, high growth areas of the category. And that was something that actually was a strategic choice that we felt very strongly about. But also the customer was just asking us for essentials. By the time we launched our prenatal, our customer was begging us for a prenatal vitamin, begging us for a multivitamin for her partner, her kids, et cetera. So we were just very heads down and kind of had tunnel vision on delivering for this customer and bringing the vision to life through things like our clinical study and USP certification. And then the other thing, to be quite honest, is it was working, so we just didn't change it. So I think that you can talk about your strategy in hindsight and make the story quite polished, but I would recommend not changing it if it's working. And I think finding product market fit, sort of like first check. Can you build and grow with that market you found a fit with and with that initial customer? We were able to do that. We were able to launch these other essentials, drive adoption and drive LTV growth, and then can you build real scale around it? So we were D2C only until we were a $100 million business. We were very focused. We were very heads down, mostly because it kept working. So my lessons and sort of insights from this period are kind of simple because of that. I think number one, it is important to find product market fit in that single channel before expanding. I think in the earliest stages of building something like this, you don't really know what you have. And so I think staying in one channel and staying really focused just allows you to get those strong signals without too much other noise about what you have that is different in the market. The second thing, and this is very well-worn territory, I'm not the first person to suggest this, is to listen carefully and cater to your early customers, build your tribe. Again, I think you learn a lot about your proposition and what really resonates from those early customers, and that can be your foundation for really long-term growth. And then finally, focus. I think like I said, we were in this very unsexy segment of the category. And there was a lot of pressure, I would say shiny object syndrome at times, to go chase things that might be higher growth. People were obsessed with personalization. No one's talking about that anymore, right? All right, how are you thinking about personalization? Are you gonna miss that trend? And I think we were really focused, and I really attribute a lot of this to the founder's vision on what we were doing. We just believed in it. And I think that we probably would not have been able to achieve the expansion we have now without that level of focus. So play your game, I guess, basically is the takeaway in these early stages.